Good afternoon, YouTube. All right, camera gave out, so I gotta do this again. Today is a fantastic day. Shop right here, house was kind of over there, and I'm installing my septic system from kind of this weekend's project. And I have these two leach fields. These are 6 foot wide, 50 foot long. I needed 585 square feet of leach field, so this gives me 600. But my permit says I gotta go down 90 inches. That's over 8 feet in there. It's a little excessive, ridiculous. I'm in full agreement with no more than 6 foot undisturbed between the two. Somebody with a piece of paper degree came up with this, I am positive. So, all this and the tank back there, which you can kind of barely see, and the trench to the house from the tank is piled up right here along with from this. So I was in the Mini X over here. My buddy was running my tractor, my TYM 574, and he was stacking all that dirt right there because we're kind of confined on space for future. I'm gonna dump the dump truck sand pretty much where the tractor is on that side and where the buggy is over here. And that way I can get to this trench from this side and not fall in, and this trench from this side and not fall in, or at least that's the idea. So what this video is about is, why would you need a cab on a beautiful Easter Sunday? Happy Easter, y'all. Jesus is alive and well with his Heavenly Father, and we're down here living the dream in his creation. So why do you need a cab on a day like today where it's 65, 68, 10 mile an hour wind, beautiful spring day, horses they're not messed up by anything. So it's like, why not work? This sand is white man tracking sand. It is powder. We call this potato dust. Watch. See all that dust? You can track a mouse or a snake or whatever. That is just white man tracking dirt. And what you're gonna see is when you dump that dirt on here, you don't want to eat all of it, because you're not always going to be in a position where you can be upwind of where you're dumping, and I'm currently not. That wind is coming basically from that corner of the house this way. So we do have some granulars in here. I mean, this stuff came from about 8 feet down, 7 feet down. It looks like Carolina beach sand. So I'm gonna take this little pile of dirt that I didn't get to because I had a baseball game I had to leave for. And my buddy who was driving this, his son had a baseball game yesterday too, and we just weren't able to move this before all that. So I'm gonna move this over here. Now this pile, just so y'all know, I mean, there's R14 tracks coming all around this thing. This pile is 10, 12 feet high and 20 feet long, or 20 yards long. It's just a massive amount of dirt. So we're gonna make this big pile of dirt bigger with that, and I'll show you why even on a perfect spring day like this, you are going to want a cab tractor. Before we get started, this tractor was used for about a solid 10 hours moving all that dirt. And yes, it's super dirty, but look at this dust accumulation here. It just is dusty. Now, is this cab airtight? No. But is it gonna filter out 99% of the dust that you would be eating? Absolutely. So let's hop in and I'll show you. Alright, let me turn Dolly down. Okay. Dolly, I love you. God bless you. Okay, so I got AC, so I'm not cooking in here, even though it's not very hot outside, but we're gonna be in medium range. I'm gonna crank this up to about 2 grand. Okay. I've had this tractor running for about 10 minutes, so it should be good to go. Alright, and we're moving. So, this is more for why you want a cab rather than not. So I'm just going to get a gigantic good load here. Bucket level indicators full or level. Okay. That's a solid bucket full of sand right there. Now let's just say I want to dump it like here, so I'm trying to conserve space, which I am. See, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bunch of dust flying right at me. And yeah, the windshield gets a little dusty. Woohoo! She gone. So yeah, I did a little shorts video on cab or not cab, and that day was windy. It was like winds of 30 to 40 miles an hour, well 20 to 30 constant with gusts of 40, and it was no joke windy, but it was a day just like today. But when you have a cab and you have days like that, or you have conditions like this where it just makes it miserable to be on a open station tractor, but you have no other excuses not to be out there working and doing what you need to do, this is where a cab pays for itself. I'm not gonna lie, you can get more done, and you will want to get more done with a cab tractor. I have been only on open station tractors my entire life. You know, it's kind of like, suck it up, cowboy, we gotta go do some work. There comes a point with the technology we got today and the capabilities, and especially with these TYM tractors, where a cab tractor is affordable and very capable. This loader still surprises me every day, that a cab pays for itself, because you're going to get more done with a cab tractor than with any open station, just because of situations like this. Or you don't have to bundle up, or you don't have to be miserable, or you don't have to wear a face mask and sunglasses and all sorts of stuff trying to keep stuff out of your face. It's just, it's great. I don't know if I will ever own another non-cab tractor, or at least have one on the property. That was an extra full. So if you have something like this where you want to be up high, you're going to eat dust. Let's put it down lower, and let's just say, for the sake of argument, you're not going to be putting it up by your head. Okay? See that dust swirl? It doesn't always blow that direction. I'll tell you that right now. So, things to think about, you know. That if you are debating between a cab or a non-cab, this is one of the main reasons why I got a cab. Mainly because it gets to be 100 degrees out here in the summertime when I need to be doing all my work, and I don't want to roast. Days on spring where it's 65 degrees, but you just don't want to eat the dust. It's fantastic. So if you're brush hogging, there's no excuse not to brush hog in a cab tractor. There really isn't. It's kind of, you might want a cab tractor or a open station if you want to give your wife an excuse why you're not doing it. But I love tractor work, so I want to go do it, but I want to not eat the dust, right? I don't want to eat the snow or the rain, and I don't want to cook myself on that seat. I've done that for the last 30 years. I've been operating tractors since I was 10. So, you know, cab tractors, this cab tractor is 110% worth it. It's open, it's roomy. I'm 5'10", 5'11", 210 pounds. My elbows, I'm going to try and switch you around here. Maybe not. Anyways, my elbows cannot reach my arms have to go to almost a 45-degree angle with my elbows straight out for me before my arm hits a glass. There is no crampage in here whatsoever. I can't reach the glass. I mean, right there is where I reach. So I got a solid 8 inches before I can even reach the front glass. This is a larger 55 horsepower tractor. Larger as in like for a compact tractor, but there are, you know, what do they call it, the 3015 now, I think it is, TYM has. That 25 horsepower tractor has a cab, and from what it looks like it's roomy enough for a grown-ass man. So, things to think about, guys. If you have any other reasons why cabs are great, other than a radio, air conditioning and heat, dust protection, rain, sun protection, protection in general, maybe branch, like if you live out where I used to live in North Idaho, we have pine trees and cedars and all that. You can brush those against your glass and not beat yourself up with the branches. Now granted, glass can break. There's no joke about that. But if it's a light branch, it's not going to break your glass. Just don't go running into, 1 inch, 2 inch, thick branches, and you should be fine. So things to think about. But there are cons. I mean, it gets dirty. You gotta make sure the windshield stays somewhat clean. Birds poop on it, just like any pickup truck. The glass does break if you're not paying attention. So, a few cons, but man, I am 100% a believer that these cons are outweighed by the pros tenfold. So, anyways, y'all, happy Easter. Hope you all had a good one, and I will talk to y'all later.